most welcome to another exciting review. And today we're going to continue with the review of this wonderful book titled How to Finish Everything You Start: Habits to Transform Your Life by John Yeager. Alright, I started this review yesterday. So today we're looking at chapter 2, and the title is The Reason How Within You: 22 Beliefs, Behaviors, or Bad Habits that may be stopping you from finishing. So if you are finding it hard to finish what you start, the author said that he identified 22 behaviors, beliefs, bad habits that may be stopping you from finishing what to start. So what are they? Number one is the fear of failure. You fear that once you finish, it may not be accepted, it may be rejected. You don't want to fail. Probably when you were growing up, people used to castigate you if you didn't get an A in a subject, or if you got 95%, your parents would scold you that why did you not get 100%, things like that, and so you have internalized failure. You feel that, oh, once you finish this task or project and you turn it in, that it may not be acceptable, right? So you really need to overcome this fear. And if you want to overcome it, ask yourself some very important questions, like, can you see yourself surviving that disappointment, even if they are disappointed rather at what you have done? Do you see yourself surviving it and overcoming that bad news that, hey, this is trash, what have you done? If you see yourself overcoming it, good. Then now, the opposite of that, do you see yourself being celebrated if you finish that task and you turn it in, right? So think about that. Think about you getting the good news that, oh, this is excellent, this is fantastic, well done. Or think about yourself getting that award. But now, let us now maintain a middle ground. Probably they are not so disappointed, they do not castigate you, and you also do not get that award, but probably somewhere in the middle where they'll say, okay, this is good work, make this adjustment, make this correction. That is it. And then you make it and they're going to be fine with it. Or maybe they say, oh, you can't get that award today, but don't worry. Sorry, you can't get that award this year, but don't worry. If you try harder and then you can reapply next year, there is hope for you. Something like that. So if you are being haunted by the fear of failure, what are the few things that you need to do? Get the training and experience that will give you the confidence. It may be that you fear failure because you're not competent enough. Then number two, imagine the worst consequence of finishing and see yourself overcoming that consequence. If you don't finish it, probably you're not going to get promoted, you won't get the money that you desire, the good life that you aim to live may not come. Then number three, see failure as a badge of courage and change how you view failure. There is a cliche that goes like this: we fail towards success. If you want to succeed in life, then failure is a pathway towards getting to that success. Number four, be realistic about whether it is about whatever it is that is not working in whatever you are putting off, and then start making those changes, right? Whatever is not working, change your strategy. Number five, consider failing as a training ground for succeeding. Then number six, if you do not finish, you bring out the very failure that you fear. Failing to finishing a task is actually failing in reality, because it is only when you finish it that you can be celebrated or that you can get the reward that you so desire. Then what is the second reason? We are going through 22 of them, so I want to be as fast as I can be. The second reason is the fear of success. This is actually a bit strange that some people would fear success, but yeah, it is real. Probably you feel like you are the smartest person in your class or in your office or in your family, and you are scared that if you succeed, you are going to outshine others that are not doing as well as you are. So you postpone finishing that task or that project because you want to level up with other people. You don't want to be the odd one out. You don't want to be the only one that is always ahead and outstanding, outshining other people. Or maybe your parents did not do well when they were your age, and so now you're trying to mellow down, you're trying to play it small so that it won't be like your own light is too bright in the midst of other people, right? But that should not actually stop you. It is okay to shine as long as you're not rubbing it in their faces, as long as you're not showing off, right? It is okay. The third reason is perfectionism. There are some people that are actually perfectionists. You want everything to be prim and proper. You don't want any iota of correction or amendment or fault in it, right? This does not mean that you have to turn in a sloppy job or something like that. But being a perfectionist is going to delay you. It's going to make you not to finish what to start because you are always checking. When you write an email, you read and reread and reread and reread. Email that is not supposed to take you more than 5 minutes to draft and send. Now you're spending 15 minutes on it. You are reading it, you are deleting. Let me put it this way, or you are writing your thesis and then you are reading and reading and reading again. Send it to your supervisor. Supervisor will make the necessary corrections and then you attend to them and you move on from there. But being a perfectionist, in as much as it has its own advantages, can really slow you down. And in the process of making sure that everything is perfect, you may lose the momentum of finishing that project. So realize that you're a perfectionist. That is the first thing. Don't lie to yourself. And the second thing you can do to overcome this perfectionism syndrome is to accept that no one, including you, is perfect. No matter how much you try to make it perfect, it still may not be perfect at the end of the day. And God help you that the person you're sending it to is also a perfectionist. The person is still going to see some errors in it. So don't even beat yourself up. Send it through. Let them give you feedback and then you work on it, right? So tell yourself, I am imperfect. I love myself the way I am. I am comfortable aiming for excellence. These are some words of affirmation that you can say to yourself. Then learn to be comfortable with praise or accepting of feedback that might be negative. Yes. Then readjust your standards and strive for attainable excellence rather than for unrealistic perfection. Then delegate or partner with other people. Remind yourself that perfectionism has its consequences. The next thing that may be stopping you is fear of completion. Right. And this may be due to poor self-esteem and insecurity. Fear of completion. And it is also tied to perfectionism. You delay completing it. You keep on reworking it, avoiding the negative feedback that you dread, It might be tied to the fear that you'll be bored also when you finish that task. Especially if it is a major task and you're already enjoying it, you are afraid that if I finish this task, what else am I going to be doing? So you find yourself prolonging it, trying to look for what you can redo, what you can rewrite, and in the course of doing all of these, you are aiming for perfection, right? So if the fear of what you're going to do next is what is holding you back, then think of what you can do next, something little, something small. Think about it, plan towards it, finish what you have at hand to the best of your ability and move on. Then the next one is procrastination. This is the fourth one. I think I should number all of this. The fourth one is procrastination. We're going to talk more about this in detail when we get to chapter 4. Procrastination is not just a thief of time. It is also a thief of destiny. If it steals your time, it steals your destiny. It steals your happiness. It steals your fulfillment in life. So don't even allow procrastination. But beyond all of this, procrastination may also be tied to information. According to the author, if you find yourself procrastinating something, then you may really need to look at what that is telling you. Could it be that you are not enjoying it? You don't have interest in what you're trying to do. Could it be that? Because for me, if I really love to do something, I do it as fast as I can, right? Because I enjoy it. So if you are procrastinating, maybe that you have little or zero interest in that thing. Or it may also be that you shouldn't be the one doing it. Probably you're supposed to delegate it. Or maybe the strategy you're trying to use is not working, is boring. So think of these different things. What are the reasons why you're procrastinating? You must really allow the information to come to you. And once you identify the reasons, think about the consequences. If I don't do this thing, what do I stand to lose? And also think about the rewards. If I do it, what do I stand to gain? The fifth reason, I think I've missed it up, sorry. Fear of failure is number 1. Fear of success is number 2. Perfectionism is number 3. Yeah, number 4, number 5. So number 6 now, let me leave it. Poor planning. There is a saying that if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail, right? You need to plan. You know what you want to do, but sometimes we don't give enough time. We underestimate the time that it is required to do that thing, so we don't plan adequately for it. And because time is not on our side, we find ourselves not doing it. So plan adequately. Determine what time is needed to do something. Put into consideration the other things that may come along the way, and plan adequately for them, right? So don't be a poor planner. Plan. You already know that you are supposed to do this thing. What time do you need to do it? Be conscious about it. Consider it, because you are not just going to do it overnight. So give yourself enough time. What are the resources you need? What strategies do you need? Do you need to employ people? Plan adequately. The time that it will take you before you start that project, take enough time to think it through. Don't just jump at it immediately. You may be stuck along the line. You may realize in the course of it that I didn't think about this thing well, and that may slow you down. It may even demoralize you from finishing. So before you start at all, plan ahead. Assess the project or whatever it is that you have to do, right? And plan towards it adequately. Number 7 is poor pacing. There is a saying that slow and steady wins the race. So instead of you trying, waiting till the last minute before you do something, it is better you pace it. Giving 10 minutes to it every day is better than waiting till, probably sometime later, and then you want to crash everything into 10 hours, and then it is not realistic. So pace your work, pace it. Yesterday we learned about the try it a little approach, something like that. And this says that tell yourself that you will only devote 10 minutes to that task every single day. Tell yourself that you are not going to spend more than 10 minutes on this in a single day. And if you are able to do that successfully, you see that your 10 minutes will turn to 1 hour. Your 1 hour may turn to 2 hours. And that way you're making enough progress. Number 8, taking on too many tasks. You have too much on your plate. You don't even know how to say no. You want to do everything at once. You think that you can cope. And somewhere along the line, you see that it is not that easy. You cannot cope. So you end up abandoning what you started. Number 9, disorganization. And this can really impact on finishing what we start. You are so disorganized. Maybe you want to work on a project. Your office is so scattered. Your workspace is scattered. It is taking you 30 minutes to look for a file. Meanwhile, if you are organized, that alone can motivate you to start and to make progress and to finish your work. But everywhere is scattered. Even on your computer, you don't arrange your work into files, into folders, right? And if it's taking you too long to find what you're looking for, you may become discouraged and then you move to something else. So work on your organizational skill. The next one, what is this now? Number 10, emotional turmoil. Different emotions. You're emotionally upset, probably somebody had passed, or you're angry, you're impatient, you're frustrated. All kinds of emotions running through you, right? Probably you need to take a break if you need to, or you just take a break to rejuvenate, to get yourself back again, then come back to the task. Because if you try to force yourself, you may not make any headway. The next one is anger. Maybe you are even resentful towards that thing that you're doing. Your boss has told you to do it when you shouldn't be the one to do it, and so you feel so angry about it. Anger is shutting you down, making you reluctant to finish whatever you start. Breathe in and breathe out. If it is something that you can control, well, control it. You can go to the person and express how you feel. This can be helpful. Talk about it, right? Talk about it or find a way around it. But by all means, you have to find a way to let go of that anger so that you can concentrate on your work. The next one is number 12. Working under pressure backfires. We talked about pacing. Now you think that, oh, I can do this thing, and so you take on too many tasks, or you leave it for the dying minute, and at the end of the day you find yourself making mistakes, you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, and before you know it, you push it aside. Number 13, it says out of sight, out of mind. A task is not looming in front of you. You have to put it in front of you. Probably put it on sticky notes, stick it somewhere where you'll be seeing it every day. If it is far away from you, it's not something that you're seeing, you may forget about it, and that way you may never attend to it again. So make sure it is somewhere that you're going to see it, probably on your phone screen, or you have this little sticky notes that you put in conspicuous places where you can easily see. Number 14, starting a new task even before the one you were working on. You start this one, you drop it, you start that one, you drop it, you start that one, you drop it. Some people can do this quite well, right? Just like working under pressure. Some people can work under pressure. Like I think I work well under pressure, but not everybody does. For me, I don't usually advocate for a long time on a task normally, except in some rare cases, because I know that even if you give me a very long time, I may be waiting until when the deadline is approaching before I start working on it, and that way I have my full concentration, my full focus on it, right? And I'm able to do it and execute it well. I think I do that well. But sometimes it backfires, really, because you now realize that, oh, the time that you have allotted to this thing is not enough, and so you are rushing, right? So let's not lose track of this one. Number 14, starting a new task even before you finish the one that you are working on. It may work for some people. They are able to allot different times and they do it well, but for many people it doesn't work that way, right? Then the next one, number 15, this one is a modern day it's a modern day stopper. TV, the internet, email, social media, and other distractions. Right, technology is good, but it can be a major distraction if it is not well managed. You find yourself scrolling through social media when you should be working. It is not a bad idea to scroll once in a while, especially when you are bored, you are tired, you feel overwhelmed. You may just want to use it to relax, to calm your nerves, right? But if you don't know how to control it, it becomes something detrimental to your productivity. Or maybe TV, you're watching movies every now and then when you should be working. If you have the courage to just switch it off and go back to your computer, or maybe gaming, whatever, any form of technology, right? It is a major distraction. Check how many hours you spend on social media every day, or maybe your emails, or maybe your phone. Once there is a beep, you pick it up, you read it. You just want to check that text message, but you find yourself checking other ones, and from there is a link that is leading you to social media and is leading you to one website or another, and that is how time goes. You're not able to finish it, and you're like, tomorrow is another day, tomorrow again. Because you lack self-control, you are distracted again. Number 16, having a problem with lateness. Lateness is impolite to other people. Yes, this means that when you are working in a team and you have a project to submit, you're going to be delaying others. It doesn't show that you have respect for their time. Just because you are distracted by too many things, or you are leaving it till the dying minutes and all of that. Lateness occasionally is acceptable, especially when it comes to things that are beyond your control. Once in a while, once people know that, oh, you're not a perpetual latecomer, it is still excusable. They can easily forgive you. But when it becomes something chronic, you are always late. Oh, I overslept. Oh, I traffic. Like, you didn't know there was traffic on your way to work. Oh, I refuse to set my alarm. All of these flimsy excuses. It doesn't speak well of you. It doesn't speak well of you. And people will start losing their trust in you. People will not want to work with you. They will feel that you're going to drag them back. You don't take the work seriously. You don't respect their timing and all of that. So it doesn't look good on you. Always late. Number what is this now? Number 17, devaluing yourself or your goal. You don't put enough premium on what you're doing. You feel that if I finish this thing, am I even going to be rewarded for it? And also you water it down because it is not of so much importance to you. You find it hard to finish. The number 17 says overvaluing yourself or your goal. It is the opposite of undervaluing. In undervaluing yourself or your goal, you water down your own achievements or the essence of finishing it. You just commonize it, like, who cares? But when you overvalue yourself or your goal, you put so much expectation on it. And because there's so much expectation, you really want to make it perfect. You don't want to make any mistake, right? So don't raise your hopes too high. It is better to promise little and deliver big than to promise big and then you deliver little. So don't overvalue your goal or yourself. Don't price yourself too high. Don't put too much expectation on yourself. And don't give people false hopes about you that, don't worry, Lida is going to do an excellent job. Don't overprice yourself. Be realistic. Number 19, failing to plan for or allow interruptions. Don't forget that in whatever you do, life may happen. Things may come along the way that you do not plan for. I have missed out some of these things. That you do not plan for. So, take into cognizance some interruptions, family interruptions. Your children may need your attention. Your husband may need you. At church, they may need you. Your friends may want you to come and help them to plan that wedding and things like that. So, give room for interruptions. Then the last one, this is actually 22. I'll go back and see the ones that I missed. Being too inconsistent in your effort. You don't exercise that discipline enough. One day on, one day off. You have to be consistent. And consistency may mean different things to different people. Allot time to it. Let there be a routine. Let there be a routine. If you give time to it and follow it, that's 9 p.m. every day, I read. 5 p.m. every day, I say my prayers. Something like that. These are just examples. And you stick to it. Your routine might help you. Some people find routine to be boring. So in that case, you may find another way around it. But by all means, try to be consistent. If you can discipline yourself and you're consistent enough, you will find yourself making progress on that particular thing that you're doing. I think I missed out one or two. Let me quickly go back and check, right? So as I am checking, I want you to cast your mind back. Which of these do you think is really, really stopping you? Is there anyone amongst this that is stopping you? Okay, I didn't miss anyone. I think it's just the numbering that I missed. So let me go over them again. The first one is fear of failure, fear of success, perfectionism, fear of completion, procrastination, poor planning, poor pacing, setting an unrealistic deadline in the first place. I think I missed that one. Let me see. I'm sorry. Yes, I missed it. Setting an unrealistic deadline in the first place. Don't set an unrealistic deadline. Probably you have given them time that, don't worry, I'll turn your project in by this time. And somewhere along the line, you discover that you are not able to do it. So always give enough room. Try and weigh your options. Try and plan properly and see what time is required to do that thing, right? So the next one is taking on too many tasks. Number 10, disorganization. Number 11, emotional turmoil. Number 12, anger. Number 13, working under pressure backfires. Number 14, allowing yourself to stop at a certain point and temporarily quit. I think I missed that again. You allow yourself to stop at a certain point, right? You lose momentum. You'll be like, I'm going to come back to this thing. And then somewhere along the line, you never come back to it, right? What's the next one? 15, out of sight, out of mind. A task is not looming in front of you. 16, starting a new task even before finishing the one you were working on. 17, TV, video gaming, social media, the internet, and other distractions. 18, having a problem with lateness. 19, devaluing yourself or your goal. 20, overvaluing yourself or your goal. 21, failing to plan for or allow interruptions. 22, being too inconsistent in your efforts. Think about this list and look at the ones that are stopping you from finishing and try to deal with them. Now that you know them, it is easy to think of a solution. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share your comments in the comment section below, and please subscribe to this channel if you are yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. I'm going to come your way again tomorrow by God's grace, and we'll be reviewing chapter 3, which is titled Having Too Much to Do at Once. Until then, be intentional. Bye.